Welcome and thank you for joining us for a 2018-2019 UCA College Score Sheet Breakdown. Our philosophy as a company has always focused on crowd leading, spirit raising, athleticism, and entertainment while showcasing a solid and well executed routine. We will have 3 score sheets: a cheer score sheet, 35 points, a building score sheet, 35 points, an overall score sheet, 15 points, and then the last 15 points will come from your crowd tape that's sent in earlier this year. Each panel will consist of 6 scoring judges. 2 will judge the cheer, 2 will judge the stunts and pyramids, 2 will judge tumbling, tosses, and the overall of the routine. Let's get started with our cheer score sheet. The first section, worth a total of 15 points, is crowd leading. Within that, crowd effective material, worth a total of 5. This is where judges are going to pay attention to. Were the teams loud? Was it clear for them to understand? Did their voices drop while they were building their skills? Was the pace easy to follow? Was there too many words in it that made it difficult to follow? The material should be seamless from beginning to end. There should be no drastic transitions or tempo changes. And then the last thing is, was the material easy to understand? Next we have ability and energy to lead the crowd, worth a total of 5 points. This is where the judge will be looking at the energy levels throughout the cheer. Were you having fun? Were you just going through the motions? Did you spread out to maximize the crowd coverage? Did you encourage the crowd to yell back? Did you demonstrate confidence, enthusiasm, and a genuine spirit from start to finish? The last 5 points possible in the crowd leading section: proper use of signs, palms, or megaphones, and overall motion technique. Judges are going to be looking at how well did you use your signs? Is it easy to read? Were they shown in time for the crowd to yell back? Megs, were they used to project voices, or were they just placed around the floor as pretty pieces? And then overall motion technique, placement, levels, on the ground and in the air. It's important for you coaches to understand that full credit will not be given automatically for using all the above. This is where we're looking at quality versus quantity. So whatever you have in there, just make sure it's used effectively and properly. Our next section is skill incorporation, worth a total of 15 points. Within this section, proper use of skills to lead the crowd, with a total of 5 points. Teams are going to be rewarded for using practical skills. Judges will be looking at extension, liberties, hitches. These skills typically don't take away from the crowd leading ability of the skill. Spinning and inverted and some of your more elite level skills can be done. However, you need to ask yourself, can they still lead the crowd effectively? Transitions. We want to keep our transitions to a minimum. Too many transitions can become distracting throughout the cheer. Synchronized is always better unless it's choreographed to match a response. And as a reminder, things like running, tumbling, full up stretches, these skills will be better suited for the music section of the routine. The final 10 points in skill incorporation comes from execution, proper technique, synchronization, and spacing. Judges will be looking at things like top girls not balancing, legs being locked out, bases in a position to support the weight, timing, and the formations of all the skills performed. Once again, skills should be solid, safe, and 100% performance ready. Teams will not score well if any of your skills are distracting because of poor technique, timing, and most of all, they take away from the ability to lead the crowd. Our last score for the cheer judge will be overall impression, worth a total of 5 points. Judges will be looking at the flow and overall crowd effectiveness from start to finish. Did the team lead the crowd effectively? Was it easy to follow, easy to understand? Did they demonstrate true spirit? Were they having fun? Was it high energy throughout the entire cheer? Did the team keep the crowd entertained, engaged? Did we want to continue to watch? Did the team demonstrate a solid and safe performance? Or did they allow the difficulty to take away from the overall execution, and also, more importantly, the ability to lead the crowd? Moving into our building score sheet, partner stunts, worth a total of 15 points. 10 of those points coming from the execution of the skills being performed. Judges are going to be looking at things like, did the skill hit at the top, or was it pressed up? Were the base's arms locked out? Were they moving around? Was the top person's leg locked out? Were cradles caught in the correct position, or did they come up short? These little things can make all the difference in this section. Difficulty is worth 5 points. Judges are going to be looking at level of skill performed. How did this team get into or out of a skill? Did the skill hit platform, pull lib, versus a team that went straight to a liberty? The number of stunts performed throughout the entire routine. Number of bases used. A team that uses 2 bases versus a team that uses 3 bases. Or a team that has front spots. These are all things to consider when looking at your skills. Use of co-ed skills. Assisted versus unassisted. In the co-ed division, the judges will be looking at how much the spotter helped during stunts throughout the entire routine. This will help them determine if it was assisted versus unassisted. As a reminder, skills that are not executed will not count towards your difficulty score. Meaning, 5 stunts, only 3 hit, you will be rewarded for the 3 that hit. The next section is pyramids, worth a total of 15 points. 10 of those points coming from the execution of all the skills that are being performed. Here's where our judges are going to be looking at the correct body position of the top person. Also, middle layers. Are they holding the correct position of the top person? Are they under the feet when they're supposed to be? Bases. Are they moving around underneath that? And then overall, the timing of the pyramids throughout. Difficulty is worth 5 points. Judges are going to be looking at the level of skill used to get into or out of a pyramid. Did they use a straight up? Did they flip into it? What was the dismount like? And then also they're going to be looking at the number of pyramids they performed throughout the entire routine. How many bases did they use to build those pyramids? Remember, maximizing your numbers can help your difficulty score. All the above will be considered to determine your difficulty score. The final section is building overall, worth a total of 5 points. This is where our judges will be looking at a variety of skills used in between structures while still maintaining clean, fast, and effortless transitions from beginning to end. Teams will be rewarded for overall creativity, the wow factors. Not always the hardest skills, but cool little twists and turns during this building section of the routine. Our final score sheet is the overall score sheet with a total of 15 points. The first section is group tumbling, where execution and difficulty are combined for a total of 5 points. Judges will be looking at proper technique during all the tumbling skills, including the arms, legs, and takeoffs and landing, and then the overall execution, synchronization of the skills being performed. When thinking about difficulty, what is the most elite pass performed by a large group? How many participated in that group? This is less about highlight passes and more about overall execution of your group tumbling. The next section is basket tosses, worth a total of 5 points. This is where our judges will be looking at proper technique, height and form of the basket. Did it travel? Was it caught properly in a completed cradle? Was it synced if there were multiple baskets? This section is set up to reward proper technique and execution of the basket only. Let me give you 2 scenarios. Scenario 1. Team A does 3 tucks that travel and barely make it over. Team B does 3 toe touches with great execution. Team B will score higher. Let me give you another scenario. Team A does 3 layouts with great technique. Team B does 3 tucks with great technique. Both teams could score the same in this section. We are telling you now, the easier, cleaner basket will be rewarded in this section. Also to note, all baskets must follow the new UCA college rules. The last section is routine overall. This is worth a total of 5 points. This is going to be used to reward teams with the wow factors and the variety of skills used throughout the routine. How does the team use the floor? And is there a variety of formations? Was there a seamless flow from beginning to end? Transitions in and out of things. Was it clean? Was it fast? And was it effortless? This concludes the college score sheet breakdown. If you have any questions at all, email college@varsity.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for what you do for your kids and we look forward to seeing you at UCA competition in January.